Okay, and I'm back. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Done my duty. So, vengeance. Hazardous
As I
material.
said before, we have no further comment to make at this time.
It's hard to imagine how classified documents managed to be released on such a large scale, given the countless
Radio
encryption
gun.
and security measures that must surely have been in place.
The suggestion that the disaster in Singapore was a direct result of illegal CIA experiments reopens the discussion as to exactly what was released over the city on that fateful day. I mean, certainly various Russian scientists have gone on record to suggest that a number of chemical agents long since outlawed by the WA were detected in the atmosphere.
Such as Nova 6. And, you know, thanks to the rioting and the destruction caused by Raul Menendez, you know, his, you know, shit that he had done ultimately caused so many countries to have to add some direct, you know, anti-air defense so they're not fucked over by a big nation like America. And in the long run, well, this, you know, one bit of peace he ultimately was able to accomplish came at the exact expense of so many others, and it's a tragedy throughout this, you know, experience that when the bad guy won, ultimately the heroes did not accomplish anything, and especially nothing long term. I mean, Black Ops 3 is not a game where you're empowered. It's never a game where you feel like you're the good guy. You're not the good guy. You're a terrible person who does bad things to people who arguably, you know, very, very morally gray or otherwise did not really deserve what they had gotten. Simply just out of, like, sheer desperation, they had no choice but to go to these things. So ultimately, the problem kind of comes down to more semantics than anything else. Well, okay, these people both want to survive, but why aren't they communicating
that led to the
civilly?
disaster that
Well,
killed over
it's about control.
300,000
That's
people.
why.
Now do you believe me when I say Kane is keeping us in the dark?
You think she knows more than she's telling us?
I think Taylor stumbled onto something he had no business knowing about. And right now, he's a marked man.
That may be. But Kane is on our side. We can't just leave her to those animals.
Unsanctioned operation to go rescue
WA
her.
operations are in chaos. We need to find Taylor before it gets worse.
If we don't get Kane out, no one else will. She's smart. She's a survivor. She'll hold out till we get there.
She'll try. Now, this is sort of a report where he says unsanctioned op, and, you know, his feelings towards
Kane,
Rachel, he denies
we're at the perimeter
having,
wall.
but, you know,
Just
it's very
leaving the
obvious
quarantine
that
zone.
people
I told
are
you not
lying
to come for me.
constantly.
Don't get too excited. We're not there yet.
What's your status? Is the safe house still secure?
For now. The camera feeds show the Immortals are closing in fast, burning and destroying everything in their way.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
No shit.
Yeah,
We'll be there as
bastards
quick as we can. Stay strong.
They're
I'll tell you
bleeding.
this. I wouldn't hold out hope for Kane's chances. These fuckers mean business.
Yeah, so do we. And we're not leaving Singapore without her.
All right.
The Immortals are slaughtering anyone between them and the safe house. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time.
I think the ashes especially are just some of the, like, coolest fucking particles in this mission. All the fire and the warm glows of death and destruction that are left in the wake of absolute revenge from, you know, Gojulan and the bullshit.
There's
we
probably
just
still some
done.
Immortals lingering around. We need to get off the street.
Broken
Agreed.
glass.
We'll cut through here. bypass a few blocks.
I mean, it's shit like this, broken scanners. These motherfuckers are pissed, and they are just ransacking everything they fucking see.
Hear that?
I hear it.
Watch this. No survivors. Civilians unwelcome. Oh, we're damn
Clear.
Delta Squad.
After
No, we're
what we
not.
did to
We're not
her
looking for
brother,
survivors.
Gojulan
We're
is acting on pure rage. Her
We
soldiers
are
won't
making
show
death.
mercy. Not to anyone.
Once we find her, neither will we.
There we go. Fucking 3 grenades inside the shower.
This doesn't sound good.
No, it's not.
What do you say, Hendricks?
Let's do what we do best. Kill some bad guys.
Like the old days?
Like the old days.
It's gaming time. We're gonna go in this slow-mo Call of Duty style. When they say like the old days, they mean like Xbox 360. They wanted to do a funny little nostalgia bit.
It ain't over yet.
Because of how much, you know, that shit got spanned with slow-mo breaching, right?
You know, by the time we're done saving
Like the old
Kane's ass,
days.
Taylor and the others will be long gone.
This is what happens, Hendricks. We get Kane, then we find Taylor. We don't leave one of our own behind.
Are you sure Kane's one of ours?
Oh, the Silk Lady. Strip clubs, lovely. Well, I do like the LCD effect on the screen and the sort of pulsating, you know, lights throughout, and just the dots and all that shit. The Frutiger Metro. And like I said about the Freemasonry too, Satan. There is a pentacle, the circle around, the star. Pay attention, this shit's gonna start popping up way more. There's a lot of Satan imagery throughout this shit that starts popping up near like the second half of the game. People who have been tortured, almost like they've been killed by demons from hell.
Here we go again.
Shot.
Put these sick bastards in the ground.
Lots of graffiti.
I say, kill them all.
See, that's the problem with this game and the way that they, you know, they
This is
show
gonna get a whole
conflict
lot
with the
worse
characters.
before it gets
'Cause
better.
both of these sides often
I
have
knew
very
coming
good
here was a
points,
bad
but
idea.
the problem is nobody is being civilized. Nobody is actually coming to the table, and this isn't the way that we should behave. It's what it's showing is this horrible, horrible violence that is unnecessary, and as a result of retaliation against us, going into their base and their home, which was already pretty
Stay
fucked
low.
up, which they didn't really have a choice but to live in these places. They're now, you know, because of our actions, murdering a bunch of people for no fucking reason, you know? Other than, you know, retaliation. Once again, the Satan Star. If you didn't see it before with the pentacle, you see it right in front of you. See, that's how they usually do it. They'll put it off to the side, then bam, right in front of you. This game has some satanic imagery, and by some, I mean quite a lot, especially with Corvus. The game really starts to pump it up, and if you liked the missing posters and ghosts, well, trust me, you will love this shit too. They're all over. Missing people posters, none will be found, especially no body parts or nothing fucking remaining after these motherfuckers are done with them. They ain't sold their organs on the black market, trust me, they will.
You don't understand, do you?
Taylor? What the fuck are you doing? You sold us out. You gave up classified information to the enemy.
I told the truth. Behind a slick corporate front, the CIA conducted illegal human experiments. Experiments that would one day blow up in their face, leaving hundreds of thousands dead and even more left to suffer in the aftermath. Ask yourself, who's the bad guy in this situation?
Burning teddy
the people who
bears,
survived
too.
the catastrophic event right on their doorstep? Or the fucking suits and yes men who covered it up? The Immortals built a society, however flawed, when the rest of the world looked away and left them to rot. Maybe they do want revenge. Maybe they just want justice. Either way,
what they're showing is that's
Taylor,
quite the opposite. These people
Taylor
are
just jacked
being
into our
murdered
comms.
and tortured. It's very inhumane and very excessive. They're lighting houses on fire with Molotovs,
Kane's gone
setting
quiet.
them on fire with gasoline
It
and
may already be
flares.
too late.
If the
Hendricks
immortals
at this
breach the
point is
safe house,
becoming
Kane's
more
as good as dead.
antagonistic and aggressive,
Head up top, find
trash
me a way
talking
through.
Kane
I hope
constantly.
you're right about her.
His tone of voice and his mood has become much more passive aggressive throughout.
Easy. Wait till no one's looking.
They killed all those motherfuckers right there. They're all gone. Now, one thing I like about this section is the dynamic music. Now, you can actually just straight up, like, stealth this shit if you want. It is a possible thing you can do. You gotta be real fucking careful, though, and not kill too
You're
many
clear.
of these
Threat
bastards.
standing down.
And that's the tricky part. You gotta watch where you're fucking shooting, or they will see you. Try not to get shot. You'll know if they start getting suspicious when they fucking start having the music ramp up. And the best way to sneak past most of this shit is to use the active camo. They are able to
That was
detect
close.
other, friendlies of theirs.
They're looking around. Be careful.
Whisper. See? If you take out all the ground
All
troops
clear.
there, they
They're moving
notice.
back to position.
And I like how they use actually the sounds of like traffic lights and cars in the actual song there. It's pretty cool. It really gives this soundtrack a unique flair. It's some techno shit from like, the 2000s, but it really gives it some extra flair that a lot of the other games were just, before it really starting to sort of miss with their soundtracks just having this generic orchestral shit.
You spooked them. Hide.
Trying to lure this motherfucker out. There we go. Headshot. If they hear an EMP blast, they don't care. If they hear a grenade, well, different story. Then they know they're under attack. But it's a loose and very basic stealth system, as well as that, once again, there's the fucking anatomy chart, human, body. And Hendricks does work as a spotter. He helps, make sure that nobody's caught on too much just yet. But the dynamic music in this, section, if you do decide to stealth it, is fairly rewarding. And that's another trick I use also with the mobile armory. It can be used as a normal ammo station. If you just X out and don't select any loadouts, you'll just refill your ammo. Boom. The dynamic music in this is pretty good. Alright, time to sneak through the streets of Singapore here. Ooh, fresh soups. Definitely not Hooters. Oh, sure. There's a fucking teddy bear in that window too. It's just great. I mean, hell, if this is the way you can get a considerably better frame rate, where you just have the fucking fire be animated at a considerably lower frame rate, like 15 frames a second or something, but this shit will run on fucking Windows 7 of all things. Sign me the fuck up. I would like this kind of graphics, please. Just as long as you understand how to use the lighting in normal maps, which, unfortunately, a lot of this game really doesn't. The lighting looks really good, like this, when there's a direct point of light directly fucking shining on shit, but since most of it is just flat and left on its own, it doesn't quite look as good. You see how the normal maps really add that sort of bumpiness that most of the game is just missing throughout? It's why I think this mission is one of the best ones in the game, because the lighting is just so fucking good. Constantly you have these direct point, like, spotlights that are being fucking blasted at you, and it really gives the lighting that edge it needs to look really nice. And as well as that, you know, most of the shit is not particularly hard to hide, seeing how it's like fucking dark and at night. Well, you can just hide shit off in the distance.
Hold up. We don't want to attract that
look
ASP.
Like it's dark,
we should head to the rooftops.
and you
get a better
barely
idea of
fucking
what we're up
notice.
against. Shit. It's like an Immortals convention down there.
And back over the wall is all the overgrown shit. Way
I'll
off in
cover
the
you from
distance.
above.
Sometimes that's issues loading in, but that, you know, is bound to happen. And you can see over there the overgrown city right next to this normal one, and they're probably really pissed off looking at that shit. And they're like, yeah, fuck these guys. We're gonna go blow them up. And there's Seiju Corp, and they're, you know, all over these banners here.
Wait till no one's looking.
Shoot this guy. That guy. You're gonna want to go for the 4 fucking towers. Try not to preemptively shoot any of the drones if you can help it. Aim for the head, obviously. And then you want to go and aim for these bastards in the middle. Looks like there was just the one. Now, being able to take out these bastards is a bit of a process. But you can actually use the drones to lure them out and see if you can get them to investigate the commotion. Usually this will bait a few of the suckers out. They'll be put into some sort of search mode. And then after getting into said search mode, they will be oblivious to any other killings that you do. And make sure to shoot twice if you don't kill them the first time. Boom. Okay, that went well. Once again, right behind. However, perfect.
Kill him quick.
That's what I need. See, I need them to get on the roof, and they'll all just go up for it, right? You don't want to spam this shit too quick if you want to be stealthy. Now, another way you can get through this is you can fucking sneak through the castle. And there are actually 3 different animations, depending on if you go loud, if you sneak through, or if you manage to clear the castle without sneaking through, you know, the entirety of it anyway. Now, one of the easiest ways is obviously just fucking hug the side and then choose your side. So I'm gonna go grab some ammo here and then make this easier. I'm gonna see if I can find the drone and shoot the drones down. And then bait out any bitches who come my way.
Kill him quick.
Shit.
Damn, they know we're here. Weapons free. They're onto us. Let's go.
I got a different idea.
We gotta push through to the office building ahead.
I'm gonna kill myself here and then try to actually get this shit right so I can fucking do the stealth correctly. Because the only way to reattempt this is you have to, you know, kill yourself, basically, which is unfortunately not what I would intend. But
Shit.
I have a choice.
It's like an Immortals
We don't
convention
know what's
down
looking.
there. I'll cover you from above.
You can aim for the chest with the Shiva at least, and that will seem to get a kill at the very, very least, so that's handy. Now where'd they go? Bye-bye. Just pick them off. Thankfully, shots to upper body, mostly the neck or the chest, do seem to be a viable strategy. Crashing their drones as well.
Kill him quick!
Fuck.
Shit, go hot! They're on to us! Drop them all! They're on to us! Let's go!
Fuck's sake. That one was my fault. Try this
We gotta
again.
push through to the office building.
Okay, and I'm back. So here's my new strat. I'm gonna try not to aggravate any son bitches like I was doing. At least if it can be avoided. We're just gonna fucking go for the safe ones.
Take them down quick! Damn, they're on to us! We need to clear
No,
them
we're
out!
not.
It's gone
We're just
hot!
gonna fucking
We gotta
go
sync
hot.
up! We gotta push through to the office building ahead!
Advanced movement game, but you can't get on the 3rd floor. Anyway. Now, as punishment, what they actually just do is they set a few robots after you, and then depending on the actual mode, it's not too terribly many. We're just gonna take the castle by force, but, you know, if you're interested. Because I'm just an impatient bitch, I guess, today. You can fucking watch others who actually decided to be fucking better than I can. Apparently, since I'm rusty as fuck, and the stealth system is just about as stupid as I remember it being. But hey, you know, if they had more vertical playgrounds like this shit, where you're able to just kind of jump on the fucking buildings and do all this fun stuff way more often, and every map was more like this kind of shit with Doom in 2016, that'd be great. Oh, sorry, bamboo is too advanced for this weapon war to go through. Yeah, that's kind of the risk of using a weapon like the War Machine, unfortunately. Now, the way to obviously catch up is to go to Hendrix and then you just, get through the door, clear out the area.
Go ahead.
You'll
I've got your back.
get the prompt. Now, if you manage to sneak through,
You sure you don't want to call this off?
Not a
one
chance,
where he
Hendrix.
throws a
We're
knife,
not leaving
he'll be up
Singapore without
here, he'll fucking teleport.
The safe house has been breached.
You
Falling
have
back to the
shadows
panic
and
room.
glass.
Initiating code
And
black.
the glass, just fucking
Good to know you're
breaks.
still kicking. Did you hear Taylor coming through on comms?
Now, it's kind of a
contacted you?
downgrade from Call of
What
Duty
did he
Ghost,
say?
unfortunately, where you
What
can't
did
break
Taylor
the
tell
edges
you?
of that shit.
They're coming in.
Kane!
But you can at least break a big chunk of it.
We've lost comms again.
It's
No,
kind of like,
this is something else.
does take a bit of the location into account, so it doesn't exactly break an identical way. It seems to be semi-randomized. This has been a big point of contention for a lot of comparison videos, especially on YouTube, I've noticed. It's just, the glass, when it breaks, does it break in a way that feels believable? Is this immersive in the ways that it should be? And I think by
Check that
comparison,
balcony.
if it's not like the full dynamic shit, then if you got like 500 other fucking bits of paper you can just fucking blow up in this room, that's fine So instead of picking up the bazooka, what I'm gonna do in this is I'm going to
swore vengeance.
shoot them with a sniper rifle.
You built your walls to contain the weak and the sick. You turned your back on them, forgot about them. Today, the children of your apocalypse will reap their vengeance upon those who stood by and watched them die. You brought this upon yourself.
Gojulan?
They're pretty pissed.
Pal, I gave her access to our comms protocols.
Taylor, what do you want? What are you looking for?
The decision, the responsibility, always rests on one individual. I'm gonna find him.
Why?
Because I need to know how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Grab the sniper rifle.
Those technicals might give us an advantage over the snipers.
Well, this is a very highly technical weapon, I assure you. The Shiva counter snipe. Play fucking whack-a-mole. I do like how the snipers have lasers.
Let's clear out the rest of these
There
guys.
you go, counter snipe. It would have been a good idea to be able to have the fucking enhanced remote hijack, but unfortunately I totally brain farted that shit while I was talking about Microsoft again, but I tend to use their shit a lot, so it's pretty important to me.
Rally on me and let's push to the safe house.
And I do like how fast a lot of the old Windows 10 stuff is, and just like the way it looks. The cold sort
Stop!
of look had.
Do you hear that?
its, charms.
ASP,
It was
take
not,
cover.
you know,
Draw its
immediately
fire.
the sort of thing
I'll
that
disable
I
its
would
defensive
expect
system.
most people to like get into simply because of like it, you know.
Its defensive system is coming back online.
Are disabled.
The way it
We need
looked
something
kind of
big to
reminded
take
me
it down.
of, like, Black Ops.
Defense is down. Hit it with something big.
Battlefield 3.
It's back online. Watch out.
Son of a bitch.
I think we got
Got
it.
you, motherfucker.
Looks like it's down for good.
Well, that actually did take significantly less time
Taylor
than
fucked
doing
up.
it the
He's
other way, where
compromised
I
our
would try to
comms.
remote hijack it.
Now we don't know
because
who's listening or talking.
Den M. You know, it's nice that they modeled the whole interior for this shop and everything. It's just this unfinished, you know, work in progress store that's never going to be finished too. It's little bits of world building like that that I really enjoyed in Ghosts. And I think the thing about Ghosts is just it's a game that looks much better than Black Ops 3 graphically, but you know, it certainly didn't have that creativity, that wow factor that I think Black Ops 3 had delivered considerably better, in the characters too. It lacked, what it may have lacked in characters, I guess it had Hesh at the very least. But then in here they had Hendricks, Taylor, Hall, Moretti, Diaz, the player, Kane, Corvus, Kruger. You constantly had all of these fucking characters who were acting their hearts out. And, you know, whether or not they succeeded is a different, you know, story entirely, mind you, but the intention versus sort of perception, I suppose, is, you know, often two different things. How many shots from this fucking sniper does it take to kill him? Wow, so it takes about fucking 15. I gotcha.
Get your ass down here. I'm taking heavy fire.
I'm afraid that's simply not gonna happen.
Watch the skies for drones.
guys are fired.
Get down here! We gotta push to the safe house!
That will not happen. You give me a sniper
I'm being
rifle.
flanked!
Tell me
Get
I
down
can
here!
use it. Fucking gave me a sniper rifle, dog. Being flanked. Get down here. That's not gonna happen. As for this, over here, I don't know if this is actually a real address or not, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's something they just made up. You know, 2074, Chinatown, Spring Sale Lane, or whatever. Fashion Piazza. Some big ass explosions that happen over there, and you know the best part of it is just like how it's an elaborately layered 2D fucking animation with sprites all over, right? These bitches are everywhere. Private Henderson. Son of a bitch. But yeah, I remember the good old days of when Leafy fucking played this. You know, how ironic is it that, you know, see, when they did nostalgia in this game, like, oh, like the good old days, it's tongue-in-cheek, right? They're joking about how they used to overuse the whole slow-mo thing, which, yeah, I could understand that people not liking that, but, you know, that seems pretty funny. Like, okay, we haven't really used the slow-mo shit that much throughout this game, maybe a few times, but oftentimes it was not so much, you know, spammed like it was, say, in Modern Warfare 3. That's the last game they were, I think, really referencing, which spammed the shit out of it. And granted, while I liked that game, they absolutely abused it like a fucking crutch. So I could see where some people may not have. And as well as the sort of Hollywood, you know, Hollywoodification of Makarov and sort of the turning of him to a cartoon villain on a Saturday morning cartoon as opposed to the sort of clever critique of,
Okay,
you
now
know,
what?
Now we get Kane.
how everyone is fucking evil and American imperialism, and how realistically how, like, you know, General Shepard is no better than Makarov, and eventually how Price is no
Fuck.
better than a terrorist in the case of Makarov.
I guess the mission's over.
So in order to
Find us
stop
transport
him,
for extraction,
right, he has
Hendricks.
to bow
Wait,
to
you're kidding me, right?
his levels and break
She's
all
toast.
the rules.
There's still a chance.
Hey! Do you hear me? She's dead!
And
Accept it!
it's stories like this I really enjoy. Like, when he goes in to save the damsel in distress, he's not doing this because he wants to fuck her. You know, it's the same thing with Tron,
Your
Legacy, and
friend?
Evolution.
She struggled greatly.
This ain't because
What did
he's
you do
trying
to
to
her?
get some ass.
She won't be talking to you
When
anymore.
games now
No.
are doing that, it just
She's being
cheapens
quiet.
it.
You
It
will
really
see.
does. Because it shows me you're not caring to take your story seriously, and you just want sex scenes or whatever the fuck else because you can't keep this shit to yourself. It totally cheapens the experience and ruins it. And often what more people are going to fucking think of, like a great example is the Hades series. They're not going to think of the clever puzzle design and the really challenging difficulty. They're going to think about the big ass that's in their face because of a half-naked robot bitch that's constantly on screen. They don't give a fuck about the gay game that they're fucking playing with all the Unity assets shit. They just want to see big robot booty. And they make that very apparent that's what they fucking want, because it's the only thing the game has going for it. You remove that shit, and the game would just be devoid of anything. So it shows to me that when they make this dark and like sterile Portal level shit, it just tells me they wanted Portal Rule 34, where they wanted to turn Gladys into a sex robot. That's just, nobody needed to know that. But that's what Valve is doing with a lot of franchises that they own and allowing and enabling on their platform. When I play Black Ops 3, you know, they take the story relatively seriously, despite it being a fictitious setting. There are lots of ties to real-life things that were happening at the time, and that didn't go away.
Damn it!
Even long
Are you
after.
listening to me?
Stay where you are, Hendricks. It's not over yet.
There's also this. Grab the fucking collectible dragon necklace, but yeah, you know, it's the very typical like Xbox 360 thing. We're halfway through the story. You've done some bullshit to the bad guys, or you've been battling the bad guys, and then they come and attack your base. Like how many fucking Xbox 360 games the people have played who were then critical of this and shit, you know, said they didn't understand this shit, and then, you know, they don't understand what's right in front of them. It's like, well, gee, you know, if you were paying attention to all the shit that had happened before and you're comparing this to what happened before, well, it should make, you know, a lot of sense that throughout the Xbox 360 trend, with like all the army games and shit, that was a pretty understandable trend where most games that were like AA, you know, Call of Duty killers or Call of Duty clones would often have this trend where, okay, you have this base and then it gets attacked. This is what I love compared to Destiny. The base only gets attacked like once, and it's in the Red War. It's why I liked the Red War. You know, in the Red War, shit actually fucking happens. It matters. In the rest of the series, nothing really fucking matters. Even the Taken King, what most consider to be the best fucking story. Ask yourself how much really mattered in that. Nothing. Absolutely nothing fucking mattered. The whole series is basically rendered moot and doesn't fucking matter outside of the second game's base story that no longer exists. It's the only one that was adequate. It wasn't good, it was just average. It was like an average Xbox 360 game with a really fancy coat of paint. Meanwhile, most of the same art design and asset design is in a game like Black Ops 3, and this shit totally works offline. Tons of really cool abandoned worlds to explore, minus the you know, big moon magic or whatever. Right? They didn't have the fucking Traveler Death Star thing that was gonna be a weapon of mass destruction like some Star Wars shit. What they did have instead was Corvus, and the weapons of mass destruction and, you know, Corvus and the whole Star Wars shit, everybody wanted their own fucking Star Wars. The problem was very few could get it. Like Warhammer, I would say they've definitely filled in the slot that Star Wars left behind, but unfortunately there have been many others like Tron, Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare, Ghosts, Fuse, Homefront, The Revolution, Homefront 1, you know, all of Battlefield. So many companies who wanted their own big-ass franchise that would last decades, and they were so short-sighted they didn't think about how a normal person is going to think about that shit, right? They only thought of the here and now, and then eventually started adding all of this impulsive 12-year-old shit with big sex, you know, sexual woman shit and Satan shit and boobies. This is the kind of shit that maybe short-term now, where the degeneracy is running rampant and people have started to become really fucking sick and tired of being called racist for just wanting a complete game. It might be okay now if you want to make money, but this shit's not going to be sustainable, because when every game is special, colorful, dark, and then lesbians at the same time, none of them are. That's just all of them. Same thing with the army trend of this. Oversaturation. Also, old Private Harris here is still alive for some reason. You can get a game over by friendly firing him, but Gojulan is fired. Enough yapping. I gotta finish this fucking mission before I stall out this video to another fucking hour. If I haven't already. I'm gonna rescue Princess Fiona, but like, you know, they don't sexualize the characters in here, which helps me get immersed, and it helps me take this seriously. Because, hey, God forbid these characters dress in some combat-appropriate gear instead of showing up in a thong, a dress, or high heels, you know? For fuck's sake. Does she look like she's a sex worker? No, it looks like she's a sniper. I mean, that kind of shit could maybe work if it's like after hours or like some GTA 5
You got something to say,
thing.
Hendricks?
But wouldn't it just be like equally as jarring as like if you're in a medieval fantasy game where there's like, you know, the sex worker outfit?
I just noticed.
And then it's like you have that in GTA.
You got a lot of blood on you.
You know, like your character is going out and they're doing that, and it's supposed to be a serious story, but no, you're supposed to take fucking Beatrice super seriously. She totally is not a sex worker, and they make it very apparent. They don't even play it as a joke. And then she's like half naked the entire fucking game. You know what I mean? Or whoever the fuck that, they call the next lady or something. Oh, well, they have a man and a woman kissing each other. Oh, that means they're definitely not gay. Oh, trust me, they will be. They will find a way. Don't worry, they will make an option, and they'll fuck it up. They will fuck up the normal one to make it look
She's
like
strong.
the gay one is better.
The meds should have her on her feet in a matter of hours.
It happens every time.
The scars, they'll take longer.
So, you're okay with this?
Okay with what, Hendricks?
Okay with the fact that people like us, our former friends, decided to turn traitor. And now we've got to hunt them down.
They leaked classified intel that has allowed our enemies to know exactly where and when to strike. They implicated the CIA in the Singapore disaster. Their actions have destabilized the entire WA. So yes, you bet your ass, I'm okay with this.
Well, this is really where they start to have bad blood. Hendricks is clearly starting to have some reservations and doubts about the mission, and Taylor really is not.
An attack that cannot go unanswered. We are currently evaluating all of our options for how best to support our allies in the Egyptian army. At this time, those options do not include sending our troops to the region.
Which is really fucked.
Ground forces continue to build up around the city as the CDP-backed Nile River Coalition strengthens their grip on the region.
And the CDP is like a mix of the fucking, Soviet Union and China.
Severe drought. It appears Cairo is on the brink of collapse.
The news reporters, they start talking about fucking Cairo there, and how the NRC has been basically surrounding them, and how they're linked to the CDP. You get their various bits of propaganda from the Winslow Accord as well, and information control on top of that. So like I said, they're not portraying anybody here as the good guys. Nobody is the fucking good guy throughout this game. You are all just various shades of evil. And if you're gonna make one side evil, the other side evil, everybody is being fucking unreasonable, like it's Payday 2, where that's the way they had done a lot of that shit, is everybody is evil, but at least their motivations for being evil are understandable and relatable. That I can agree with. Meanwhile, I just can't get immersed in Sex Worker Call of Duty Simulator Big Booty Bitch 2000. That's a little less serious, and it kind of defeats the entire fucking point when you've put all of these glorified, very happy cartoon characters who violently murder people into a serious army game that's marketed every year as being serious and about war. You gotta pick a lane here. Because if you don't pick a lane, all it really looks like is you're insensitively vandalizing a lot of, real-world history, disgracing the memories of people who have served in the army, and, it'd be like going to a war memorial or fucking Fort Knox and spray-painting the whole thing with big tits and dicks. And they're all pink, and they're all rainbows, and they're all gay. There's a time and a place for this sort of shit. But maybe vandalizing a military outpost is a crime and would get you fucking shot. So maybe don't do that to an army game. Just unless your army game is about that, which most of them are specifically not. They just include it as if it matters when it never does. You could cut that shit entirely and nothing would change. Absolutely zero of the game would change. It's this weird, almost transactional fucking self-hatred that they have. Like, they don't want to fucking put it in there, so they just make it like it's disposable. Like, it doesn't even fucking matter. How can you say that you're supposed to be supporting these people when you treat them worse than most people treat them on, fucking online? How can you say that you're for something that you often perpetuate? That's the problem with Microsoft. And when they put this shit into little, games for little children, like Halo, they very thoroughly made into some stupid, little series for children. And then, in the same stride, they try to promote sexual ideologies in this video game that they've made and promoted specifically for children. And I'm like, Microsoft, that is not okay. And couple that with actual links to the Epstein Island and all that shit, big red fucking flags. And the whole Halo TV show where they announce how they're like, your father and your son should watch this shit together, and then Master Chief is raping prisoners of war. His asshole is fucking, wide for anybody to see. Sex. Constantly taking off his fucking helmet and crying. They go out and say Halo is like porn. Remember, T-rated, 13 PG plus TV show, right? And T-rated video game. What the fuck? This is actually worse than the Battlefront 2 gambling shit. That is even worse than that shit. If you're gonna target children, can you at least do the due fucking diligence of not doing this openly, really creepy shit constantly? Can you just give children like a one-time payment for like some fucking Viva Pinata skin in your Call of Duty? Could you make it, if you're gonna have colorful shit, could you make it not weirdly sexual in games that you're clearly targeting towards children? Like, what? There would be nothing wrong if you put the teddy bear skins in like Halo, because it's more silly, right? There's everything wrong when you put that in a game for adults and then try to treat them like they're stupid little kids. Microsoft can't make up its own fucking mind about what the fuck it wants to do other than just screw with people. They do this very deliberately, and then on top of that, they self-indulge themselves and surround themselves with a lot of satanic imagery, a lot of AI, and they make it seem like there's no clear way to separate these two when they're just not fucking related whatsoever. They mix up correlation and causation very deliberately to artificially fuck over people, make them all pissed and get angry at each other, make them divide and conquer into mafia-like territories. Same thing with Steam, right? Steam... Fuck's sake, so sorry. Steam does the same shit, where Steam artificially has a lot of moderators who on their forums will constantly, the second they slightly disagree with you, you get to fucking eat shit and die. Try using Steam's forums, they won't fucking keep you very long. You'll get automatically banned for racism even if you've never posted a single comment. The ambiguous moderators are absolutely power-tripping fucking Redditors who abuse their power. Like, Reddit is actually more kind than Steam, if that helps by any means. A lot of the people who was like super old Reddit, who was like fucking straight up draconian furry lizard people. Oh yeah. Actual Reddit calmed down, slightly. They're still absolutely fucking horrible. They change your own comments without your consent and then ban you based upon shit that they changed without even telling you. They can fucking remotely change your comment and then make you say something you never fucking said, then ban you off that thing you didn't say. That's super fucked. Steam even more so. They'll just ban you if you fucking post a comment in the wrong fucking game. Like Game Guru, great example. I used to use that engine for 7 years. I got banned for asking about multiplayer, a feature that I was sold, and they seem to act like it's some sort of personal attack. Like, as if inquiring about any form of documentation as to the thing that I purchased and how I would be able to add multiplayer functionality to Rogue Planet is some sort of insult to them. They're insulted by the idea of fucking multiplayer. It's like, what kind of fucking ego do you have to assume I would be attacking you based upon wanting to add a fucking multiplayer co-op mode in the engine that advertised itself as having multiplayer functionality? How would that be an insult to you? If anything, that should be a compliment, because it shows somebody was actually interested enough in the thing that you fucking made to the point where they wanted to use it and to create an awesome multiplayer game with it. But you decided this was horrible, this person was a jackass, and they personally insulted you because they respectfully asked a simple question of, hey, how do I use the multiplayer and create maps using it? I'm rather curious, since most of the documentation I could either find was old, outdated, or no longer worked. Do you have any new resources that would be available to a developer such as myself looking to make a team deathmatch or co-op mode? Banned. Fucking banned. Wow, what an unreasonable, horrible, discriminatory, fucking hateful insult. Wanting to use the thing I purchased with my money, I can go to hell. Yeah, that's the way they think of me. And it's just interactions like those on lots of online gaming forums. It really got me out of wanting to interact with that shit. But like, you can see the signs of how this shit evolved and deteriorated. Lots of demonic symbols used throughout in high-tech situations. All of this shit has lots of fucking satanic imagery. I mean, look at that shit right there. Black Ops 3 is literally the fucking work of Satan. And then people wonder why they feel so upset, so confused, constantly. Big business was literally using the tools of Satan. It wasn't even fucking hidden. This shit was the story of Black Ops 3. They throw Jesus off to the wayside. They throw America off to the fucking wolves. Literally in Call of Duty Ghosts. Their first next-gen game, throwing America under the fucking bus, throwing them into the post-apocalypse, invading them with Mexicans. Huh. Wouldn't you fucking know it? It sounds an awful lot like today, so. I gotta say, Call of Duty was very much onto something. Something that we wouldn't really have grasped the full ramifications of until we didn't do anything about it for about a decade, and it entrenched itself so very, very thoroughly throughout many aspects of culture in our country, that this kind of shit has been taking actively like weeks and weeks and weeks and years and months to sort of remotely kind of allow the old standard of just anybody being able to do whatever the fuck they want from before to come back, like regardless of whatever fucking race or gender you are. It doesn't fucking matter. Can you get up and go do your job? That's the only... You should hire based upon merit, not whoever the fuck, this or that person looks like and how you feel about it. Well, if you feel like going and killing a bunch of innocent people today, at a church, well, I mean, that's not my fucking fault. Sorry, I didn't know this company hired based upon mass murders, or, whoever the fuck knew the demon ritual today. I didn't know I was, sir, I was signing up to apply to Wendy's, not the Illuminati. You know what I mean? No, but that's often how it feels like when you try to apply to jobs, or try to go out in the world, and then you realize, oh, well, shit, these motherfuckers are more interested in saying fuck America, even though they fucking are in America. So it's like fucking stupid. Black Ops 3, they predict the future, truly. Anyway, that's gonna do it for there. Take care.